There's an awful lot of people, but at the moment they're very, very quiet people. I don't hear any singing, I don't hear any chanting. From the rivers to the sea!
Irish water will be free!
From the rivers to the sea!
Irish water will be free!
From the rivers to the sea!
Irish water will be free!
Come on your own lads, 15 minutes we kick off. There's still people walking from Conley, still people coming along the quays, huge numbers again. So let's hear the crowd build up the atmosphere.
Irish water will be free! Irish water will be free!
National Anti-Racism Day. This is the day they told us you wouldn't turn up. This is the day they told us you wouldn't make any noise. This is the day they told us the protest was dying. Are you dying? Are you making noise? Kenny, Kenny, Kenny! Kenny, Kenny, Kenny! On the rivers to the sea! From the rivers to the sea! No way! No way! I can't hear you! No way! No way! No way! We're going to get event started here. There's nobody watching the clock this afternoon. There is a sporting event going on. We'll catch up on it later. That's what recording boxes are for. We're going to get a little bit of music, and then we're going to hear some speeches. We're going to hear some inspiration, I hope. You all expect that, of course. Evelyn Campbell has started all of the Right2Water demonstrations. Where are you, Evelyn?
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and see that the price of our water has grown. If we don't stop it now, it'll just keep on going. Our human rights are worth saving, so let's work together, or we'll all sink like stones, for the times they are changing. Come writers and journalists telling that tale. Keep your eyes wide, time to remove the veil. Report the truth, enough of the spiel. Level of coverage is shaming, and the people now are sick of the spin, for the times they are changing.
Fuck off, you get it.
Right, Robbie, get your mush out.
Of the lies, of the broken promises, and of the arrogance that has brought hundreds of thousands of people into the biggest citizens' fight back the state has ever seen, and which continues today, and which will continue right up to and beyond. The payment dates. What are we going to do when the payment date comes? And we'll continue right We get people into a parliament who will represent the people in this country. One of the people who is currently in our parliament, who is representing the working class people in this country, the ordinary people in this country, and who has made some inspirational speeches in the last number of months in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage from the Anti-Austerity Alliance, Ruth Coppinger TD.
I'd like to welcome the dwindling crowd here today. I think Senator Lorraine Higgins has her answer. And also we should say to the business leaders in Dublin who today said that they bemoaned the fact that this protest was taking place, their footfall was going to be down by 25 to 30% it would take if we allowed the water charges to go through. Because let's be clear, the concession water charges introduced in a panic by this government will go back up in a few years' time from 500 to 900 when the meters start rolling. Now in 10 days' time, every single family in this country will receive a bill. Whether you have a meter, whether you don't have a meter, will become irrelevant. 2 million families will face the choice, as Shakespeare said, to pay or not to pay. That will be the question. And the only way that we can secure the abolition of the water charges is by building mass non-payment of those bills, because that's what makes it financially unviable for Irish Water, that hungry monster that needs feeding, to be viable. But it also makes it politically impossible for any future government, no matter who's in it, no matter what they say now. If the water charges are paid, they'll keep the water charges going. And we have to give them the political backbone to abolish the water charges by building majority non-payment. Now, the most important task of all the groups and individuals that are here today is for us to go into our communities, build confidence, give people, old, young, middle-aged, people who don't come to the marches from all backgrounds, not to pay. The polls are showing 40% will pay, 30% won't pay, 20% are unsure. We have to convince those unsure people there are no penalties for not paying for 1 whole year and 3 months. You can safely boycott 4 bills without any risk to yourself, by which point there will be a new government in power. That's the message.
Democracy and people are fighting against water taxes in Greece. I see some Greek flags down there. And you may be aware that happening this weekend in the province of Andalusia in Spain, Podemos, the people's movement, taking back democracy for the peoples of Spain, are having an election. They're seeking to be elected and take over the province of Andalusia, take over Spain. And if you can all hold up your banners here, we're going to try to get a photograph and send solidarity to the people of Spain from the Right2Water movement and all the water protesters. Thanks very much. Thanks very much. Now, in the last number of years, since the disgraceful bailout, thanks Ronan, since the disgraceful bailout, everybody hasn't been asleep. Some people have been very, very angry. Some people have been subjected to what I call a national collective trauma, which has clearly been cured, but it lasted for a few years all the same. One group that can never be accused of that is the Says No movement in Dundalk. And every Friday for the last 4 years, the lady that's, come on, don't be so shy, Maeve, the lady that's about to join us on the stage now, Maeve Curtis and her colleagues of Says No in Dundalk. Give a big shout out to Dundalk, the League of Ireland champions, by the way. That's the only match I was interested in this weekend. Sorry, Pats fans. And we're now going to invite to the stage Maeve Curtis on behalf of the Says No movement all over Ireland, and particularly Dundalk. Maeve.
Hello, Dublin. Hello, Ireland. And Brendan, you better be careful. They might call this cronyism. You have somebody from Dundalk. But it's all right. I'm doing it for free. Just like our water. Let's get rid of that myth. Water is not free. It never was free. And the people of Ireland have always paid for the water. And Mr. Power, we paid for the pipes from the rivers into our taps. Not you. The people of Ireland paid for that water. I'm not a politician. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. And I never thought that I'd stand in Dublin and have to fight austerity. I thought that was behind us. I thought we learned the lesson when 1916, that Ireland was free and that the people of Ireland would rule Ireland. I'm part of a group and we are just community. We are the people. We are you. We are not party political. We are citizens. We are the people that Enda refers to as those people. Well, I'm proud to be those people. And I'm here today. We've heard a lot in the media, on our televisions, as we know, and we've heard a lot about violence. And rightly. And this is what you need to remember. Phil Hogan said that water was the next oil. Well, Phil, you're not getting your hands on our water, and Europe's not getting their hands on our water. Our water belongs to the people of Ireland, for our children, our children's children. And you can take your plebiscite and shove it where the sun doesn't shine. So when those bills come in, and they will come in, and when the telephone calls start, because they're recruiting people to phone you, and you're going to be bombarded, make no mistake, they are going to pressurise you. They're going to try to persuade you. They're going to try to frighten you. They're going to use every arsenal they have, and they're going to attack you. But we have the power, and we will stand strong, and we will not pay this bill. And we will save the water for the people of this great nation. I want to send a warning out to every politician, regardless what your colour is. Take note, look round you. The people of Ireland are off their knees. They will not accept any more lies or corruption from any political party. Thank you.
Maeve Curtis was very nervous coming up here. She didn't do too bad for a nervous one.
I come from the Civil and Public Services Union. We are public servants first, and we are committed to a public service that is there for the citizens of the state. But what has been created in Irish Water is not the public service my members can support. We believe that water is a human right. We also believe that it is a natural resource of this country. It must be conserved and it must be managed. But it cannot and it must not be turned into a commodity to be sold to the speculators and the privateers who have wrecked this country. We have had enough of that. We have the pain and the scars to show for it. Water is a natural resource. It must be managed by a state body owned by the people and paid for out of a progressive tax central system that is fair, and a tax system that ensures that those who have the most pay the most. It is only when an immense injustice stirs workers that they unite their grievances with all of their grievances. And comrades, water charges is an immense injustice which we will stand up to. Are we now on the cusp of a new republic? We have rallied in huge numbers. They said you wouldn't turn up today, but you are here. We must now ask, is it just about water? Comrades, of course it's not just about water. There is much more to be challenged and much more to be tackled. At the end of May, you get a chance to give vent to another commitment in the proclamation that you hear a lot about, cherishing all the children of the people of this country that puts water truly in the hands of the people. Comrades, this is fantastic. Keep the faith. Let's do the things we need to do to make Ireland a different place. On Holy Thursday, the 2nd of April, you can stand with Mandate and the Duns workers, and you won't go across the threshold of a Duns store in this country. That's a challenge for all of us here today. And at the end of May, you can vote in your hundreds of thousands to respect equality. And finally, when we get the chance in the general election, we'll vote for parties and politicians who'll put workers first. Berbua.
Laws were made for people, and the law can never scorn the right of a man to be free. Free the people, let them have their say. Free the people, let them see the light of day. At dismal dawn was breaking when they took a man away, not knowing what was his crime. Just what he was guilty of, not one of them could say, but they think of something in time. He says goodbye and remember, we shall overcome. We the people, let them have their say. We the people, let them see the light of day. Comforting her children softly crying in the night, she tries very hard to explain. You know your daddy never did a thing that wasn't right, so soon he's bound to be home again. He'll have their say. We the people, let them see the light of day. We the people, let them have their say.
Well, I don't know whether you figured it out or not, but in the last few weeks, four colleagues of ours, 4 colleagues of yours, 4 committed citizens of this country who are out doing nothing other than peacefully protesting and fighting for themselves, for their families and for their communities, were jailed on behalf of themselves, their families and their communities, and all of us here today. It's a very, very noble thing in Irish history and in history everywhere for people to sacrifice their freedom in defence of themselves, their families and their communities. So I want you to give a big welcome on the stage now for Damo. Come up here, the three of you. Introduce yourselves. For Ollie, for Damo and for Bernie. And Bernie's got the mic. Bernie always seems to get the mic.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the people of Cork who woke up the nation. If it wasn't for the people of Cork, we'd be still sitting at home, wondering why nobody stood up against this corrupt government. And to see so many here today makes me proud to be Irish. And being locked up in a prison cell, not knowing what was going on the outside, people standing outside in the snow, rain, protesting for us, was a great honour to know that you're there. And it's a great honour to stand here in front of you today. So a big thank you from me, Damo and Bernie. Thank you.
We could never agree on anything anyway. But listen, the first thing I want to say is to the media. At the press conference there during the week for the launch of this, the media kept pestering the people at the launch, asking about numbers, they're going to be down and whatever. I asked them the question, whether it's 70 or 100,000, what number would please them? Now, I'm asking them, is this number good enough for you? Now, what I want to say first and foremost is to thank each and every one of the people standing in front of me and all of those people who can't be here today but want to be for one reason or another. And for people to have come out in their numbers 2 days after we were incarcerated wrongly in the prison was phenomenal. And I think that put the skids up the government as well and the elite in this country who are trying to break this campaign, who are trying their utmost to put dissent among us. Well, look it, we're telling them, and I'm telling them now, from me, from the people in my area where I live, in Finglas, none of us, political parties or the community, and this is a community-based grassroots movement, and we appreciate all the help we can get from political parties. But it's not about political parties, it's about the people, and the people will let the parties know what they want. Should not be there. If they do, they should be in treatment centres. They shouldn't be fed methadone to keep them balanced, or whatever the word is. This is what we have to stop. And God forgive me for saying it, but I think it suits the powers that be that we have problems like that in the country, because they can divert our attention from the real problems of them screwing us over left, right and centre. Now, as you all know, we're very much involved in the anti-metering campaign, which is a part of the broader campaign. But I would say to people to remember that it's not just about not paying the bills, which is of huge importance. But if we haven't got the meters in as we move forward, they have no money coming to them because they can't measure the amount of water we're using or whatever. And it's the meters that will be their gem, in my opinion, and in a number of other pieces, Conor McCabe and other eminent people like him. But I would also just ask people to stand together in their communities when the meter men, as we call them, come in, and do it peacefully, like we have always done, and unity as we move forward. We've to forget our old, maybe, gripes with one another, which we all have. I do anyway. But the thing is, we've to forget that if we're going to move forward. And if we are really, as a people, our political, and I'm talking to the political parties now, if you really want, to change this country, listen to the people. Don't run ahead of them. Listen to what they say. Don't be making decisions in Dáil Éireann or the councils without consulting your communities. Constituency of Dublin Northwest, during the local elections, somebody that had just left the Fine Gael party not long before stood as an independent. And because I believe she stood as an independent, a lot of people thought that her politics would be left and support them.
He's actually
I just want to thank you all. Can you hear me? I just want to thank you all, because when we were in prison, a lot of you came up to our families, and I'd like to thank the Community Against Water Charges, the committee. They did a collection. There was a few quid thrown every week around to our families. I'd also like to thank a girl, a barrister, on her own time at night. She went and she looked and she found the technicalities. Nobody mentioned her at all. Jane McGowan from the Kestra there, okay? So well done to Jane McGowan. Also, just real quick, the prison officers, Chief Murphy and the prisoners on Air Wing 7G, they were all great to us. There was no issue, they all treated us because they knew we weren't criminals. Everybody was very good to us. We've no problem protesting tomorrow, the next day. We're all the same. Sometimes there's just 20 of us in a protest, there's 20 links in the chain. There's 100,000 links in the chain. We're all the exact same, so we'll all work together. Just to give them.
Well, the government tried to break us. They said the people wouldn't turn out today. And the people came from all over Ireland here to stand. And miraculously, trains broke down on the way to Dublin today. The Irish government is still trying to break this movement. But they haven't got a chance in hell. Because we aren't only going to bring Irish water down, we're going to bring the Irish government down. On my first day of freedom, I went down to look for Alan Kelly because while I was in prison, he said he was going to tear the opposition apart. Well, I'm going down to Alan Kelly again on Tuesday because I want him to tear me apart. Because I'm going to send him a message from the Irish people that we're not paying. Not today, not tomorrow, not any bloody day. We are going to put an end to the corruption within politics in this country that sold the people of this country out for the last couple of decades. We are going to ensure our children have futures in this country, that they're not going to be forced to emigrate. They're not going to be forced on the unemployment line. They're no longer going to be statistics in this country. And together we have shown them what we can do. And the next time we will bring not only 100,000, 200,000, we'll be aiming for 500,000. Because those who are undecided will see that we have already won this battle. Not today, but we won it last year. When the first protest gathered, we'd already beaten the system. And the system is terrified of us because they've never seen a grassroots movement like this. We have shown when the people rise in this country, they rise. And we will show the men of 1916 that they did not die in vain, that the people still remember. And I just want to finish up with one thing. No way! We won't pay! No way! We won't pay! No way! We won't pay! I just want to introduce Meva here.
Ladies and gentlemen, as Bernie pointed out, it's International Anti-Racism Day. We're a broad community in Ireland now. We're all standing together, and I want you to give a big warm welcome to the stage on behalf of the Irish anti-racist movement on International Anti-Racism Day, Mehmet Oladog.
Yes, today is the International Day Against Racism and Discrimination of all sorts and all forms. It's a day that the Irish people will find very close to heart. It was designated by the United Nations in 1960 for the murder of the 69 anti-apartheid activists in South Africa. To commemorate these people and to remember their memories, the United Nations has declared this day as the International Day Against Racism. And today, we have organised a rally in Dublin. And from this rally, contributed by 25 organisations, we bring you the solidarity and the messages of support and friendship in all languages, in all religions, in all backgrounds and in all nationalities. And we say today, water is a human right, and black and white, we will unite and we will fight. That's what we say today. Around the world, in Europe and in Ireland. and it's the rising sectarianism, racism and discrimination. And we like to say, look around the world, look at the history. It is not the Irish migrants in America who created the crisis of JP Morgan Bank. It is not the undocumented migrants in America who actually forced the crash of the housing market. It is not the Irish in Liverpool docks who actually brought the crisis in Britain, nor are the migrants of this country who created unemployment in September 2008.
Aidan O'Riordan. He comes for something that describes itself as a Labour Party. And Aidan was saying that it didn't matter how many people turned up today, that the government had made up its mind, nothing was going to change, and the arrogance of an elected representative from this city to tell people listening on national radio that their protest didn't matter, their presence here today didn't matter, their opinions don't matter. Aidan and all the rest of you, you will soon learn when you have to go before the people whose opinions matter. We have had enough of that type of political arrogance and ignorance. We're sick of it.
Despite all the scare tactics, all the fear-mongering, all the negative publicity, once again the people of Ireland have come out in their thousands to tell this government that Irish water must go. The government believes that the anti-water charges campaign is dying, that we are on our last legs. Well, Enda Kenny, does this look like a dying movement to you? The citizens of Ireland have a strong message for Fine Gael and their Labour lackeys. Irish water must go. We cannot and we will not pay. We will not pay your €650,000 for your latest spin campaign. And we won't pay the 85 million for your consultants. Nor will we pay $500 million for your water meters. We will not and we cannot, because there are people out there who are struggling to keep a roof over their head. There are families struggling to put food on the table. And this government now wants them to pay for water a third time. Well, for 6 months now, hundreds and thousands of people have taken to the streets. The government's day of reckoning is coming. And whether it is defeated here on the streets like it was in 1916, or we will defeat them at the next ballot box, send them a much stronger and louder message. Enda Kenny, Joan Burton, Irish Water and your charges are the same as your government. They're unjust, unwanted and an unfair imposition on the people of this country. Irish water must go, water charges must go, and this government must go.
Thanks, Lynn Boylan, MEP. Thank you, Lynn. It's Richard Boydbar. Richard.
On this day of the people, I hate to say a bad word about anybody, but I have to say, Enda Kenny is a clown. And do you know why he's a clown? Do you know why he's a clown? Because only a clown could plan to send out bills for a despised and unjust and unwanted water charge on April Fool's Day. You couldn't make it up. But the people are not fools, are we? Are we fools? No, the joke is on Enda Kenny and Joan Burton and Enda Kenny. Because we're here to say, Enda Kenny! Not a penny! Enda Kenny! Enda Kenny! Enda Kenny! Enda Kenny! And we're not alone in this country in fighting, because you know something Enda Kenny is as well? He's the scab of Europe! He's the scab of Europe! Because he has stabbed the Greek people in the back when they have risen up against austerity. And we are also here to say, we stand with the people of Greece and of Spain and of Portugal. And we say, Mario Draghi, not a penny. Mario Draghi, not a penny. Mario Draghi, not a penny. Mario Draghi, Mario Draghi, Mario Draghi. You know, they think we're the fools. They lie to us all the time. They say the country is bankrupt. That is a lie. Next year, they are going to pay out 8 billion euros of our money to pay off Draghi and the bondholders and the vultures who brought this country to its knees and have dragged Europe into the dirt. And we are here to say, no way, we won't pay. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way, no way. We have plenty of wealth in this country, plenty of it. But the problem is, it is in the hands of a few very greedy and well-protected people. Did you know there are 19,000 millionaires in this country? And while all of us have got poorer over the last 5 years, these people have got richer. They are lining their pockets at your expense, at the expense of families being evicted from their homes, at the expense of 100,000 people waiting years on a housing list, at the expense of people lying on trolleys in hospitals, unable to get the life-saving care that they need, at the expense of our kids in overcrowded classrooms, at the expense of the disabled who have support and resources robbed from them. There is plenty for all of us, but we have to take it back, and that is what we must demand. We want our country back. We want our resources back. We want our democracy back. Whose water? Our water. Whose resources? Our resources. Whose country? Our country. Whose democracy? So all I want to say to people is, they have peddled the fantasy and lie that this movement is on the wane. They are trying to demoralise us, but today we have sent them an unmistakable message. The people of this country are on the march, and we are staying on the march until their charges, their austerity, and this corrupt government is swept into the dustbin of history. So I just want to appeal to you. When April Fool's Day comes, what are we going to do? We are going to boycott these charges. And we have to go from here and organise in every community, in every corner of the country, to give people the confidence to boycott these charges and bring down the quango that is Irish water. And we have to stay on the streets. When you go away from here, in the next few weeks, we'll hear the propaganda again. They'll try to demoralise us again. They'll try to divide us again. But just remember today, remember December the 10th, remember the people who went to jail and are still protesting, remember November the 1st. We are going to keep fighting, and you have to retain your confidence. We can beat these people, and we will. So, let us go away from here today and resolve our unity and solidarity to take this country back for its people. We will be celebrating the new revolution on the 100th anniversary of 1916 next year, when we will finally have a government of the people, for the people, by the people. Let's go to that task.
Richard Boyd Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. Now we just have another couple of speakers, and I know December the 10th took 3 hours. There was a little bit of music at the end. Most of you would have missed it if you had probably had frostbite at that stage. Hang on there for another 10 or 15 minutes and we'll be finished up in a similar Right2Water event on the 1st of May that we're working with the Dublin Council Trade Union. Stevie.
Thank you, Ben. Well, just to start off, a little good news. Ireland 20, Scotland 10. We like winning and we intend to win here today as well. So what can we do? What's this all about? This is all about goodies for buddies. The people in the Dáil want to give their buddies, our water, our forests, our oil, everything that we should own, they want to give to their buddies. So how do we stop them? How do we stop them? We stop them by putting the ownership of our resources, and in particular our water, in our constitution, where it can only be changed by the Irish people. So what we're saying is, we are going to give you a form of words, and we're going to ask every prospective political candidate in the next election to say, we will stand with the Irish people. We will stand with the Irish people and give them the referendum that they need. We will stand with the Irish people and protect their water in our constitution, in the hands of the Irish people. And it's very easy to do. All we'll do is we'll add a simple wording. And just listen to this. How difficult is this? The government shall collectively be responsible for the protection, management and maintenance of the public water system. The government shall ensure in the public interest that this resource remains in public ownership and management. That's all we want. Give it to us. We already own it. Protect us. Okay? So, all I can say is, we'll be back again. We'll be marching again on May Day. We hope you join us. This is the start of a campaign. Take what they want off them. Take the water off them. Protect your rights. Thank you. Goodbye.
Stevie Fitzpatrick, ladies and gentlemen. And over the next number of weeks and months and right up to the next general election, the Right2Water campaign is going to be seeking those seeking to represent us in the next Dáil to sign up to that new Article 48, I think it's 48.42, it's gone off the screen, to make sure that our water is protected in our constitution, not as the blue gold, Mr. Hogan, not for Tenio, Mr. Kelly, not for Viola, for the Irish people in perpetuity, and we're going to really push that over the next year. Now we're going to wind up on the 10th of December, as I said. We had guests from Connemara, from the west of Ireland, traditional musicians. They wrote a very, very special song. It got the place hopping. We were so cold we had a dance. We would have collapsed. But we're going to play it on the big screen now, and then just as everybody goes away, Evelyn will join us again for a final song. Listen, thank you very, very much. They said the campaign was on its knees. They said you had gone away. They said the government had won you over. They said we'd lost Middle Ireland. They said we were defeated. You have shown today in tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens. I'm running out of hands. You have shown today that this campaign is here for the long haul. Ireland will never be the same again. The politics of corruption, the politics of broken promises, and the politics of lies is over. It's been exposed. We want our country back. We're taking our country back. Safe home, peaceful. Thank you very much.
Irish water, Irish nation, no privatization. Stop. No privatization. Irish water, Irish nation, no privatization. Stop.
Ain't a kidney, not a penny, we won't pay at all, cause corruption of your policies is worse than being a fraud. Jenny and Kenny, watch the paper trail.
Irish water's not for sale. No privatization. Irish water, Irish nation, no privatization. Stop.
Before they try to call us tourists while you batter down the door. But from Rossmore to Johnstown, the 20-metre van, police brutality is black and tan.
No privatization. Irish water, Irish nation, no privatization. Stop.
The fight they're gonna lose, charging us for water that we can hardly use. The chloride, the fluoride, the cryptosporadium, flush them out, cause it's time to get rid of them.
No privatization. Irish water, Irish nation, no privatization. Stop.
Now there's 50,000 people and they're out in the street, all marching to the same beat. 100,000 people and they're out in the street, all marching to the same beat. 150,000 people out on the street, all marching to the same beat. Got 500,000 people out on the street, all marching to the same beat. There's no backing down, no concessions will do. People have spoken, you know what to do. The time has come to stand and fight, and not put up with the same old shite. We will strike, we will fight. What there is a human right. We will strike, we will fight. What there is a human right. No privatization. Irish water, Irish nation. No privatization. Stop. No privatization.